Tony McGill agrees to let Caitríona get back together with Sam after she becomes pregnant with a baby girl. No one in showbiz could have predicted that the biggest news of the year would come from the seemingly dead-end love triangle between Caitríona Balfe, Sam Heughan, and Tony McGill. When Caitríona revealed that she was pregnant with a baby girl, and that the baby was not her husband's, but Sam's, everything changed. Tony McGill, the talented but secretive music producer, was initially stunned by his wife's confession. He stared at Caitríona as if he had never really known the woman he had married. "You're saying, it's Sam's?" he choked. Caitríona nodded, her eyes red and trembling. "I'm sorry, Tony. I didn't mean for it to turn out like this. But I can't continue to live a life that's not true to myself." The silence between them stretched like a heavy curtain. Tony stepped out onto the balcony, standing there for a long time in the chilly London afternoon wind. He had loved Caitríona with all his heart, but he had also felt the distance in recent years. She was no longer the woman who devoted herself to her family. She lived between two worlds, one was real life, the other was the past and her unresolved feelings for Sam Heughan. Meanwhile, Sam was in Glasgow, still unaware of the truth. He only knew that Caitríona had become quiet lately, rarely responding to his messages. He had thought it was over, that they could only keep each other in a small corner of their hearts. But then, one evening in June, the familiar chime of his doorbell rang. When Sam opened the door, he froze. Caitríona, her face radiant but filled with emotion, stood before him. "I have something to say," she whispered. Minutes later, tears were streaming down Sam's cheeks as he placed his hand on her belly. "You're carrying my child?" he whispered. "A girl," Caitríona said with a shaky smile. And Tony knew. He wasn't angry. On the contrary, he told me to be true to my heart. He understood. And he accepted. Tony wasn't jealous, he wasn't resentful. Instead, he chose to forgive, not just out of love but out of respect for the truth. In a private meeting with Sam, Tony said something that moved both men. "I kept her for too long, while her mind belonged to you. Now it's time for me to set her free." The conversation took place in a small cafe in Edinburgh. No cameras, no fans, just understanding between two men, one a husband, one an ex-lover, and a woman they both loved in their own way. Caitríona and Sam are in no hurry to publicly reunite. They are quietly preparing to welcome their little child, a gift from fate after years of conflict. They do not need support from the media, nor praise. What they need right now is peace, evenings together reading books to the baby in the womb, and the sympathetic look that Sam gives Caitríona every time she is tired. Tony? He withdrew from the media, choosing a quiet life, but without resentment. He left behind a final statement to the press when he was caught at Heathrow Airport. "True love is not keeping someone for yourself. It is when you know how to let go at the right time, for the happiness of the other person." Their story is not perfect. But in this chaotic world, perhaps love, even if it comes late, even if it goes through many events, is still the most precious thing. And in a small house on the outskirts of Edinburgh, a new chapter is being written in the hearts of 3 grown men, and one unborn little angel.